Facebook fan. I hope that I'm live with you all. Um, Let me go in and sign in with that Facebook page because obviously, as usual, y'all are not going to even want to come back and watch me. Hopefully, we're live. I could not get you to cooperate, and I'm sure it's operator error. And let me sign in and see if I can see myself. We're now 22 minutes late, as usual. So, my apologies. And guess what? There I am. I'm live. Can you believe that? So, here we go. Now that I'm here, hopefully you all will join me. I'm going to turn the chat on and see who all's out there. Um, Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. My apologies again. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I have been doing this craziness for 14 years. Now, the crazy part is the live streaming. I've done this for probably 8 years, but I'm using a different system. And obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. So forgive me, my apologies, but we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to be working with two cards, making two cards. We're going to work with our natural botanicals, which is a new stamp set with Stampin' Up! I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down so that y'all can see the table. And let's get started with these cards. Bear with me 1 minute. I've got to flip the camera down, and then I've got to get where you can see it. And then I need to just bring the camera back where we can see and lift it up a little bit. Let me turn the light on. There we go. And let's see, I need to do a little bit of adjusting. And we've got the light there. I might turn that light off because that's giving us, hang on, let me turn this light off. All right, let's see what we're doing. All right, give me 1 minute. This is the part that takes a little bit of time because once you move it, you have to get it to where you want it positioned and get the camera in the right spot. So let me bring this up just a little bit more this way. Okay, I think that's good. I hope so. All right, let me turn my light on and see if that helps. Give us a little bit. Okay, this is a two-step. It's a reversible. I shouldn't say two-step. It's a reversible. So where you see the this is the back side of the leaf, and then this is the actual leaf itself. And so this is something that you can work with. So you only have 6 stamps in here, but it looks like you've got 12 because you've got the front and the back. So this is what we're going to be working with. This is the card that I'm going to create. Isn't that pretty? And then we're going to do another one after this. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And then I did the inside like that. So I thought this was really nice. So we're going to go ahead and work with this. And let's get started. If you're out there on Facebook, go ahead and I've got the chat open. Leave me a comment. And my apologies if you're waiting for me over on YouTube. Sorry about that. But here we go again, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And as soon as I find my, where's my card stock? Don't tell me I don't have it in here. Okay. I'm sitting here this whole time and I don't have my set. Where's my card? Hang on a minute. I gotta find my card. I guess I packed everything with that one. I'll be back in a minute. It's a cluster. I can't find the package. Hang on. What is that noise? Oh, shoot. You know what? I'm going to start drinking. I packed everything in my daggone card kit up there on my desk. All right, let's get started. Okay. So if you're out there, again, my apologies. I'm going to have to play with the Facebook thing, the YouTube thing when I'm by myself and figure out how to do that. I did everything like I do to go here, but obviously I'm not doing something right. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. This is, I'm using a 4¼ by 11 piece of basic, well, no, actually this is thick basic white. So we're going to make this our card base, and then I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to add a piece of shaded spruce, which is 4 by 5¼ All right, and then I've cut out one of the perennial postage rectangles. So we're going to use this to do our stamping. And I've decided on the card that I showed, let me show you. I don't know what I was thinking. I used this side. I'm going to flip it over and use the darker side. I think that's going to be a lot prettier. So I'm going to go with that side. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this so we can go ahead and get this attached. And I've got this cut at 3 7/8. Let me see here. Yeah, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, if I'm not mistaken. I was trying to get it to where we just showed a little bit of the shaded spruce. So I'm going to go ahead and add that now. And then I need to grab some scrap paper. And I know I have some, maybe I don't. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just stamp on the table. No big deal. All right, I might use the back of the thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's get this added. And again, I am very sorry for this. I say this every week, you know, just blame Switcher Studio. It's their fault. It's their fault for telling me I had to upgrade my iPad. You know, cut this really, I probably should have cut that a little bit shorter. Okay, let's see. All right. So this is the piece that we're going to stamp and make our design. Okay. And this is our inside. And then we're going to do a piece for the front sentiment. So I'm going to place this here, and let me put my card right here so we can, I don't know if y'all, it's out of the spotlight. So I'll put it right there so you can see. All right, so let's bring in, I've got all these inks here. So the first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with, as I drop my ink pad, Granny Apple Green. And we're gonna take the stamp and we're gonna stamp the back side we're gonna stamp the back side. I'm gonna stamp off. So I'm going to do it on the back of this. So I'm going to flip my stamp over. So this is the leaf part. So I'm going to turn it over so we have the flat side on the block. Okay, so this is the flat. Now I'm going to ink this up. Now I'm going to use the back side because I forgot to bring paper in here, but that's okay. And I'm going to just stamp on the back just lightly. And then see how that comes out. And then I just want it lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right about here. Make sure that we're in the camera. All right, so we've got a light Granny Apple Green, just enough to show what, give it a little bit of color. And now I'm going to clean this, and we're going to turn it over, and then we're going to stamp it 2 times, and we're going to stamp it once in shaded spruce. So let me flip that over and back on here. So now we'll do the shaded spruce. So let me get that one open. Let me move that out of the way. All right, so now we're going to stamp shaded spruce. Okay, we want to make sure we get it all inked up. I got it nice and inky. And then I'm going to go, yeah, that was, oh, you know what? I should have done that. I did that one on the front of our thing, but that's okay. This should be the front, but that's all right. We're going to go with the back. It's okay. All right, so I'm just going to take this one from down here, and I'm just going to stamp it. And that's going to come off really dark, but isn't that pretty though? All right, and then let me leave my chamois up here. So let's clean this. Now we're going to stamp it again in Old Olive. So we're using 4 different ink colors, or 5 actually. All right, so now we're going to go with Old Olive, and we're going to stamp the same leaf on that leafy side, right? And since my Old Olive is one of the older stamp sets, then ink pads, I've got to walk it through. All right, so now I'm going to take the old olive, and I'm just going to stamp that off a little bit so it's kind of going more to the right. Okay, and it looks like a mess right there, but that's okay because we're gonna make it look beautiful in just a minute. All right, so that's that. Now I'm gonna grab my other stamp, which is oh, you know what? Did I not bring the gold in here? I didn't. That's okay. I'm not going to get up and go get it. Now we're going to use, let me move this out of the way. We're going to use Melon Mambo, and we're going to take the back of this. Is this a Lazy Susan? What is this flower called? Do y'all know? All right, so we're going to flip this over because I'm going to, and I forgot to bring my gold ribbon, the twine leaf that and I'm not going to get up and get it again, but that's what we would normally, we're going to add, but okay. So I've got it kind of really thick. We're going to stamp that right about in this area because I want to kind of have it leaning this direction. Okay. So now that's really dark. I should have stamped off because see how that one is a lot easier, a lot nicer looking. But you know what? Why don't we? Oh, let's see, because that is really dark in it. Let's go back. Let's do this. I'm going to start all over again. Sorry about that. We're gonna have him kind of dark because this is way too dark. I don't like that. That's way too much melon combo. Let's bring the stamp in. I'm gonna do the guys one more time. Sorry about that. We're gonna leave him full strength. It'll be okay. I don't like the looks of that melon mambo. I'm gonna have to adjust. We'll stamp off on that one. So okay, let's try this again. All right, so we're going to stamp this one here. So the granny apple will be a little darker. It's okay. I just thought the lightness in the background would probably look a little bit better. But you know what? It is what it is. All right, let's try this again. Here's our old olive. Let me clean off my stamp real quick and get that cleaned. All right, now we're going to come in with the old olive. And let me get that over here. All right, so he's going to go right about there. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm trying to think if I used Petal Pink or Melon Mambo. I think I used Melon Mambo. Let's see. I'm going to try the Melon Mambo. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try this on the back piece, and we're going to stamp off like that. And let's see if we can get it lighter. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're going to stamp that. So I stamped it off because this is really inky. So I stamped that off, and we're going to put it just like that. Now you can barely see it, but that's okay. It kind of, and that's only because my green is a little bit darker, right? So we're going to clean this, and then I'm going to come back, and actually I probably could stamp that again. Let's see. Let's do that. I'm going to stamp it off one more time, this back piece, and let's try it this time. Let's see if we can line this up and get it right about there. There we go. Much better. Okay, that's the effect that we were trying to make. All right, so I'm going to take this off and I'm going to flip it over, but now I'm going to stamp that and see why I wanted the granny apple to be lighter, because now you really don't see that part of the flower, but that's okay. Now we're going to use Pretty in Pink, and then I'm going to stamp over that. Oh, you know what? I need to stamp on this, and hang on a minute. Let me get a piece of paper. Well, let me see if I got some scraps here, because I need to stamp the flower, and we need to cut that out. So I'm going to stamp it on here. All right, so I'm going to stamp this right here, and then we're going to fussy cut that, and that's going to, we'll pop that up on dimensionals. This is my inside of the card piece, but that's all right. I should have brought some extra cardstock in here, and I didn't think about it. I was thinking I had some in here, but I packed my travel case for my shell point class, And I was thinking, well, I have extra, but it's not here because I was packing it for my class that I do once a month here in the community. So, but anyways, we're just going to cut around this real quick. We're going to fussy cut it out. Try to leave a little bit of a white edge. I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would. So we're just going to come in here and trim around, and then we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. So if you're going to stamp with the Melon Mambo, which is a dark ink, make sure that you don't press so hard. That's probably what I did. So, all right, let me close this up so we're not wearing this. All right, that really looks like a mess, doesn't it? All right, so let's put some dimensionals on here. I've got, let me see if I got some big size ones, which we should have somewhere in the back. Excuse my arms for reaching across the table. I know I've got some in here. I just got to locate. There we go. I'll just cut some off right here. All right. So we'll put that there. And we'll put a piece right here. And then I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of the stem just to get that to hold in place. It's probably going to be popped up just a little bit, but that'll be all right. So let's pop these on here. Take that off and take that piece off. And move this guy out of the way. And then we're going to put that right about here. Now you can see I'm going to pull it up a little bit higher because that green apple is a little bit darker than it should be. So I would have a piece of the gold right here. It's the gold trim. I'm not going to get up and go get it. For some reason, I forgot to bring it in here, but that's okay. We're going to deal with it. All right. My apologies for that. And then we are going to stamp our sentiment. And the sentiment that I'm using is coming from the Changing Leaves. Now, this stamp set is one that's the last chance, just to let y'all know. The last chance list. I'm not going to get rid of this because I really like this stamp set. So this is on the last chance in case you're interested in that. All right, so I'm going to use my Melon Mambo. Let me get that back out. And we're going to stamp our sentiment. And this is from the perennial postage stamps also, that die cut for the sentiment. So let me close this up and get this out of the way. All right, and we're going to stamp that on here. And hopefully I can get this. I'm going to pull this in front of me, you guys, so I can see it. All right, and then I'll just slide it back up there. Okay, there we go. We got that. So far, so good with me rushing around. Okay, now we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And those are the mini ones. I don't want many. Let's go back and grab some more. And then we'll put our card. It's a pretty easy card. And I really like the stamps that do the kind of double work, right? So you can get two different things. Now this one obviously doesn't look quite as good as that one, but it's okay, right? So whoever gets the card is not going to know what it's supposed to look like. All right, so we're going to attach this with dimensionals, our sentiment, and then we're going to add this to the front of the card. And then we're going to do the inside of the card. Now, the piece that I just used, I'm going to put this right here to cover up the little tip of that. And again, we would put some twine right here, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to lay this down flat because I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals onto the card base. So we're going to add our adhesive here. Isn't that a mess right there? That Melon Mambo was like way too dark. All right, so we're going to place that right there. Get that right in there. That's cute. I kind of like this one though. It's a little bit lighter, but maybe it'll look fine. Once we get it on the, this one we're going to put on dimensional. So let me grab, man, all I've got in here is the ends. Oh, well, that's okay. We're making it work. We're going to use up all our scraps. And then I've got a really cute card that we're going to do next. So hang with me. and I appreciate you all, um, thinking I'm crazy. I guess I just, I need to just practice going, I just assumed because they said 5 steps, the same, you do it the same for each thing. So that's what I thought I was doing when I was trying to go to YouTube, but apparently I have to do something else. And it kept saying my camera wasn't cooperating, so I don't know. Anyways, there's always an excuse, isn't there? Okay. All right, so let's pop this off, and we're going to put this on the card. And then we'll get this one finished up out all but the gold ribbon. And if my husband knew where to look, I could text him, but I'm not going to go there. Hang on a second. I dropped some dimensionals. All right, so we're going to lay this. Whoops. Want to make sure we get it the right way, right? So I'm going to place this right on here, and it's popped up on dimensionals. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. Yeah, let me go a little bit higher because, hang on, it's got too much at the bottom. There we go. All right, so there's our card. Now we're going to do the inside, and I'm going to do very similar to what I did. Hopefully I don't screw this up because this is, I've got to have a piece of my scrap paper. All right, so we're going to decorate the inside just like that. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to take everything and do it again. I've got a scrap here that I will stamp off on. So let's just do this one more time and keep our fingers crossed that we can get it so it doesn't look too funky. All right, so we're going to stamp that off. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to have this go. I'm going to have it come a little bit shorter. So I'm going to put it right there. There we go. See, that's what we're trying to get. All right, so close this up. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to redo the same colors. I'm going to turn my stamp around after I clean it. And we're going to put the shaded spruce. And then we'll do, and I'm not going to push so hard. That is a nice color though. And we could stamp off that if we wanted. I'm going to do the shaded spruce. Let me get it up here because I want to not use that entire piece. So I'm going to put it just about like that. Okay. And we'll clean this again so that we can now add our old olive. Okay. So we want the card, we're going to have the inside blend right in with the outside, with the front of the card. And then we're going to, we'll start on our next card. So let me get the ink on this. Get the little bit right there because I'm only going to use part of this. All right, and then we're going to flop him over there a little bit as well. Just have him go, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Just do it like that. There we go. All right. And then we're just going to do the little, whatever you call the Lazy Susan or whatever it's called. I'm not sure what it's called. All right, we're going to do that in the pretty in pink. So let me clean off this one stamp here. Let me grab my little Lazy Susan. And we're just going to stamp the flower itself. We're not going to turn it backwards. Okay. So we're going to take that and we're going to stamp it right about here. So that kind of takes up some of the space, so you don't have to write a lot. So that's one good reason why I want to do the inside of the inside of your stuff. All right, and then the last thing we need to do is go ahead and decorate the front of our card. We've got to add some gems. These are the 24-26 in color shimmer gems. And I'm going to add a couple of the darker pink and probably, let's do 2 of these. Put that right there. And then I'm going to add a lighter pink. Let's do a big one. I didn't realize we had big ones. Let's do a big one. We'll put that right down here and get it off my finger. Okay. All right. Hi, Linda. Hi, Karen. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. All right. So there's the card. A little messier than this one, but I do like the darker in a way. Um, but I still think they look nice. Now, again, I need the gold twine, but I'm not going to go get it because it's in the other room. Okay, so that is, whoops, get in here for the camera. Sorry about that. Let me fix my camera. It looked like it might have been falling down. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I was in the camera. All right, so this is the original card I made. This is the one I just did without the twine. So just keep that in mind. You want to add the gold twine. All right, let me get for whatever reason, let me get my camera. Hang on, I gotta adjust this thing. Let's see, give me 1 second. I'll pull it back just a little bit. There we go. I think that's better. Okay, so there we go with that. All right, so let's move this out of the way and let's get started on the next card. And I'm going to move my cleaning pad over there. Okay, now this one, I'm going with that Grow with Love again. I love this stamp set. I can't tell you enough. I love it. Let me show you the card we're going to make. Again, I'm using the Grow with Love, and we've got all of these herbs here. So this is the card that I created. Okay, I'm gonna get that down here so y'all can see it. All right, and let me, for the moment, I've got to pull these things out and put them on the blocks. So give me 1 second while I do that. And I've got one thing I've already cut. Bear with me, I'm getting the blocks together. I'm stealing some that we just used. Let's take this one off, and then I've got a smaller one. All right, let's put that there, and then I've got this one. Hopefully will fit on here. I think these are all the ones I'm using. Okay, I think we're good with that. I think we're good. Okay, isn't that a cute card? And then now, I didn't have the gold. I cased this from, I think it was, oh gosh, God, I think it's Mary, and I can't think of her last name. She had the gold. If you can see, this is silver. It's a real fine open weave type ribbon, and I've got it in here somewhere. I thought I did. Oh no, I cut that from the other piece. I have it right here. This is what it looks like. Okay, can you see that? She had the gold. I didn't have any gold, so I went with the silver, just to give it a little, a little something, right? All right, so give me 1 minute. Let me grab all of these. Now we got ink pads galore on this one too. So we're using Mossy Meadow cardstock, and we're using basic beige for the inside of the card and for the front of the card. And then I've stamped with pecan pie this piece right here, so I didn't have to worry about cutting it with the dies and getting that in here. So I went and did all that in advance. All right, so this one is going to go on the inside of the card. So I'm going to set that one off to the side. I want to look at the card. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get this burnished. And then we'll go ahead. Let me put my stamps up here so they're out of the way. This is another fun card, too, and it's very easy. And have you noticed that we haven't been using our Memento black ink? Isn't that wild? So, okay. And we're going to do the same thing. All right. So I'm burnishing my Mossy Meadow, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to set this off to the side because we don't need this just yet. Okay, we're going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 basic beige, and we're going to stamp this with the various herbs and colors. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is shaded spruce. Yeah, let me find my shaded spruce. Sorry, we're going to use that one again. All right, so we're going to do shaded spruce, and I'm going to take the thyme. Got to find the thyme. I think it's this one. Yep, this is the thyme. Okay. All right, and I apologize. I thought the light was. I thought I have the light in here. To me, it looks dark. Is it dark to you guys? Let me turn this guy down a little bit. Does that help? No, that makes it worse, doesn't it? Hang on a minute. Okay. All right, so we're going to take and use our thyme, and I'm just going to stamp this. I'm going to place it 3 different spots on the card. And it doesn't matter. You can place them wherever you want to put them. And I'm trying to move this so that I can keep this in the picture so y'all can see it. All right, so I'm just going to stamp a little bit towards the edge. And this is in shaded spruce. Okay, so I've got one there. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to stamp again. Let me get my piece of scrap cardstock because I'm going to stamp off. Even though I can wipe it off on my table, I just don't want to have to. And then this one, I'm going to have it come off. I'm just going to put a little bit right here. I'm trying to just cover. By the time we get done, we'll have a lot of this on here, so we'll be covered, okay? And then we're going to ink it again lightly. And then I'm going to come over on this side, and I'm just going to just do a little bit off and do it right about like that. Okay, so now we've got my time on there in shaded spruce. I just love this card. It's such an easy card to do also. All right, so we're going to leave that there. Then we're going to come in with Pretty Peacock. And we're going to take Pretty Peacock and we're going to use the rosemary. Hang on a minute. All right, so rosemary's right here. So we're going to take rosemary and we're going to stamp her or the it. Let's see, let's do, in our sentiment, we're going to put it someplace. Now you can see right there how we're going to do that. All right, so I'm going to put the rosemary. I'm going to go up a little bit because, again, I want to try to cover up as much space as I can on the card. And then I'm going to come up right next to the thyme. And I will put her, I'm just going to do a little bit right there. I'm going to come over a little bit. Okay, so we got a little bit there, not much. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom because that one's looking kind of lonely, right? And we'll stamp that again. And again, I'm just going to stamp a little bit towards the edge and put it right about like that. Okay, so that's Pretty Peacock. All right, so let me clean this off. I'm sorry if the table's jiggling. All right, so we'll put that there. And then we're going to come in with Old Olive. No, I'm sorry. Garden Green. Pardon me, not Old Olive. Garden Green. Told you I'm using up a lot of stamps. All right, we're going to do Garden Green. And that is going to be with the basil. Which one is these basil? That's the mint. I'm going to save the mint. All right, so basil, we're going to come in. And we're going to stamp. Okay, so I'm going to go up there because that's an open space. And this is a pretty good size stamp, right? So let's get this scrap piece out of the way. And let's stamp this. I'm going to stamp that one right about there. Okay, so that kind of took up that corner. And then this down here, I got rosemary a little crooked, but that's all right. I'm going to come down here and stamp. And then I'm going to probably do a little bit at the top. So I'm going to come down here between these two guys. All right, and stamp there. And this, I mean, it's just such a cute, you can do whatever you want. And then I'm going to put the basil right here. I'm going to do it at an angle. So just that we have a little bit. And our sentiment, so that right there, I got ink on it, which is not going to be a big deal because we're going to put our sentiment right there. Okay. So I think I've got it pretty much covered where I want it. You can add more if you choose to do so, but I think we're good with that for now. So let me wipe this off. Oops, sorry. And then we're going to come in. Oops, let me move this out of the way. All right, then we're going to come in with Mossy Meadow, which is what our card base is, right? Now, the one that I was watching and that I was casing, they ran their base through an embossing folder, which I was going to do and then I forgot. So, and it did give it some texture in the background. So keep that in mind. That might be something that you want to consider. Okay. All right. So as I said, I cut this from the die that comes with this set, and we're going to stamp the mint on Mossy Meadow. So we're going to stamp that on here. And then this is going to get popped up on here. Okay. So we're just going to place that there and stamp that. And we're going to pop this up with dimensionals. Okay. All right. So far, so good. And Move this out of the way. All right, so let's get some dimensionals. I am working with all little babies. All right, that's okay. Hey, all the little pieces on the side work just the same, right? And I apologize for the light, you guys. I thought I had this set up with the light. It looked like it looked better the last week, but to me it looks kind of dark. So give me your feedback. I know that you probably are tired of my whining. Oh my gosh, the things we do for our craft. All right, so I'm putting dimensionals on here, my little corner pieces, and I'm gonna put one in the center just because we can, right? All right, so let's pull those off, and we're gonna pop this up on the card. And then we're going to wrap some of that silver ribbon. And I thought about trying to color it, but I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure if it was going to color, so I didn't go there. All right, so we're going to put the mint. So see how I've got my little ink spot? You can see that little smudge right there. We're going to cover him right up. So I'm going to lay it a little bit over this way. Try to get it maybe centered off to the side. All right, so we're going to do that. Now we're going to take this silver and we're going to wrap this around and we're just going to cut it and tie a bow. Tie a knot. So it really doesn't matter. We're just going to chop a piece off. Okay. So, and if you want to run that through before you put this on there through an embossing folder, it probably would look nice and give it some nice texture in the background. I'm just going to tie this into a knot and then I can slide it over and then adjust it as I need to. But it's just enough to give it a little sparkle. I think get your fingers through it. There we go. And just gives the card something, a little bit something, right? It gives it that little oomph, oomph. And I think that's fine. I don't think it's over the top. I don't think I need to cut that down any. I think that looks good. What do y'all think? And you can still see the mint through there. All right, so now we're going to attach this to our card base. And then the last thing that we're going to do, we're going to put some butterflies on it. And then well, before we do that, we're going to add, hang on a minute, let me cut some more things off. We're going to do some, I'm going to try to do some splatter using one of the Stampin' Blends. We're going to use some pecan pie and we're going to splatter the card just to give it kind of a rustic look, if you will. All right, that's trash. So let's take this off and let's get this one off. Oh, thank you for I appreciate that. Lighting is okay? Okay, thanks. To me, it looks kind of dark, but, and then of course I feel like it's going in and out, but I appreciate you guys. All right, so this one, we're gonna lay this here, make sure I get it on there right side up, right? And I'm, you know what, don't ask me why I put this on dimensionals. I did, it should go flat, but that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just talking around. Okay, so I'm gonna take the dark pecan pie. I'm gonna lay it, actually, it doesn't really matter because it's not. And I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna beat it with my scissors just so I can get some splatter. So you can see the little splatter. Now, it probably would work better with a marker, but I wanted to see if we could get a little bit of splatter like we do. It's not coming out quite as much as I would. I think you got to beat the crap out of it, but that's okay. But you get the gist, right? So you could use and we're getting a little bit. Let me put a little right here. Put a little bit there. There we go. We got a little splatter, not much, but it's a little bit. I did it earlier. I'm not sure why this thing doesn't want to cooperate. I'm trying to remember what I used. Maybe I did this part. Oh, there we go. You got to really get it close to the tip. There we go. It's a little bit of splatter, not much, but it does give it a little bit of effect. You can kind of see some splatters right through there. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is add some butterflies. So let's get these butterflies on there. Since it's an herb garden, right? If I can get the things open, hang on a minute. Hang on. Got me glued in there. There we go. All right. Well, it's not too bad considering, let me get back in the camera. It's not too bad considering I started 30 minutes late. My apologies again, you guys. I really appreciate your patience. So I guess we'll be doing Facebook until I can figure out the YouTube thing. All right. So let's take a couple of butterflies. Oops. Yep, got that one. And I'm just going to place some. Let's put one right here. Put one there. And then we got these little baby ones, but I think I'm going to use the bigger ones. And this is a good way that you can kind of hide the any spaces, right? And then we'll put a little one. Why don't we just put a little one right here? That gives us our 3. So there's the card. What do you think about that? It's just again, and again, I got it smeared. I've got too much ink on there, but we'll just, I'll try to splatter some of that pecan pie on it. Cover that up. Okay, so with that being said, let's, isn't this cute? A cute card? I think and it's such an easy card to make too. So just keep in mind, if you have any stamps, any flowers or stems or leaves or something, you can do this and just randomly stamp the back, right? So there's that. And then here's the card that's naked that should have its twine right there. So I'll put this one on top so we can kind of get an idea of what they should look like. And then these are both obviously the same. Okay. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you taking time from your Tuesday evening and watching my craziness. My apologies. I will practice this week before I go live next week to make sure if I'm doing it on YouTube that I can get my act together. But thanks again. Let's see. Saturday is my creation anticipation sketch class. So if you're not doing anything at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live here on Facebook with that. And we'll be doing another sketch and showing you how we can create cards, very simple and beautiful looking cards, but using a simple sketch. So, all right. With that being said, thank you so much. I really, again, truly appreciate you guys watching, and have a good week. Hopefully I'll see you on Saturday here on Facebook, and have a great weekend. All right. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye now.